Oh, how about now? Can you guys hear me now? I see Dr. Fred and Barney and Nadeem and Steve. So I know that there's a little delay. Thank you for putting up with me. Being a little bit late, but I had trouble getting into the room. But I'm here now and I got audio and yes, you can hear me. So hallelujah. We have liftoff. So Jonathan, Larry, yes. Andrew, Dr. J, awesome. Rick, Carl, thank you. Eric, hi. All right, so welcome to the deep dive. I am going to be respectful of your time and let you guys know that I picked and I want to thank you guys for all your submissions. By the way, all these different niches. I'm not sharing my screen right now. So right now, because I have no Leanne. So if I share my screen and it's like a keynote thing, it's going to take up the whole screen and then I can't see your questions. John, if you have no sound, can you click the little blue button at the bottom of your screen that says reconnect or something like that? And hopefully that will help because everybody else says they can hear me. So anyway, so I'm not sharing my screen because of that, but I will put up something. Actually, I think I'll do this. Let me know if you guys can see this. And let me share this. Let's do this and see. Hang on. Thank you for bearing with me. Smaller. Can you guys see my screen now? That's with the Email Copy Pro and Niche Deep Dive. I can put that here. So there's something in the screen. All right, Craig, thank you. So anyway, I picked personal development, but I thank you for all your submissions. We got cosmetic dentistry, internet marketing, dog, chronic back pain, pay-per-click for dentists, orthodontists. I could go on. But I picked personal development because there were multiple listings of that one. So, and plus I know a tiny bit about it, but not really enough to build out a niche. So that's why you guys are here with me tonight. So first, what I think I will do is get into Email Copy Pro. And actually probably have to, hang on one second. So let me get in there. I totally had to rethink what I was doing because now I have to log in using Chrome to get into the room. So that will get me in, hopefully. Okay. So I'm going to start building on a niche, right? So I'm going to click new, and this will be personal. Can you guys all see my Email Copy Pro screen as I'm typing in? Carl's not getting audio. Connect spinner just going round and round. No, you can't see my screen. Okay, hang on. Application window. I think I have to do this. Hang on. Okay, now you should be able to see my screen that's showing the Email Copy Pro and can't. Oh. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Entire screen. I'm going to share. If I do, it's not going to, well, if I do this, I want to share that. I'm just trying to figure out how to. Okay, that's not it. That's not it. Okay, Jonathan is saying, let's just do this. Copy Pro screen? Let me know. It's going to go into infinity. Stephen, this will be available as a replay. So yes. So I won't be able to answer questions at the same time that I go into Email Copy Pro. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there right now and I'll just go back and forth. How's that? So here I am and I have a blank niche and I'm going into personal development. So I'm going to go back to Firefox. I want to grab a couple of screens, a couple of URLs. So this is my thought process when I go into personal development. First of all, I want to know the angle. So in personal development, in self-help, there's so many different angles you can go with. So if I put Tony Robbins, that's going to bring, obviously, he's personal development. Where's his site? Here it is. So the very first thing I want to know is, and this will be determined from your product, right? Is what angle are you? Are you weight loss, personal development? Or like this, he's love and relationships. And no thanks. He's love and relationships. He's mind and meaning. So wealth and lifestyle. So that's the very first thing I want to do. So let's just say that we had a personal development product on, we could go, well, which one do you guys want to do? You want to do, I'll do whatever one you want. Health, leadership, mind and meaning, or productivity. I'm going to switch back to you guys and see what we got. Maximize my screen. Larry's asking. So while I'm waiting for you guys to come back with that, because that angle will determine everything that I put into Email Copy Pro. So we got health, leadership, career, business. Two for leadership. And productivity, career and business. And KS, this is for you. So Joe Franco says health, leadership. All right. So I'm just going to, let's go with productivity. I'm getting a lot for productivity. So let's do that. All right. So now I know in here, my avatar is who? I write and market to who wants to be more productive? Who is my customer base? I'm going to say CEOs, right? And I'll copy that and put it in here. Or I could say business owners, right? If I want to be more broad. So either one would be fine. So if I'm going to go to the CEO route, this is it. I'm done. Or let me just add business owner, right? Because I'm thinking that's another kind of person that wants to be productive and maybe they're my customer. So business owner, and I just copy it out of there. And I don't want this to be title case, so cool. And this is going to be plural and business owners. And I'm sorry if my typing sounds really loud. Okay, so cool. That's easy, right? But what's my niche? It's productivity, right? Now, I'm not going to take the time to type everything in right now, but that's as easy as it can be. Now, does that make sense to you all? Like what I just did? I'm going to sit back here. Pete says lazy people need to be productive. But does that make sense? Like how I found that angle? And so before we go any further in me doing what I'm doing, can you tell me, anybody who's here, any of you having a problem like narrowing in on your niche, on your avatar, or do you guys get that covered? Because that's super important that you know who you're selling to and what you're selling them. Because everything you speak to, everything you bring up in your, whether you fill it out in Email Copy Pro or you address it in your product, that's the information. You got to make sure that information matches what your customer, what those people need. Scott, just trying not to be annoying to my list of people. Scott, are you a copywriter, Scott? Because I don't know that you would ever be annoying. Okay, so it looks like you guys all are cool with the niche thing. So let's keep going. Let's get a little more. All right. So now I am not in this niche. I do not know what their primary complaint is. So, now you might have an idea with your target market or you may not. So I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to open another tab, hopefully not blow up my computer. And I'm going to look for a productivity expert. Who? I got Nicole Bandies, Dr. Pinnisit, David Allen, Getting Things Done. Okay, now that, okay, so I'm going to go with David Allen because that's a name I'm familiar with. So now I'm going to go to his website and I'm going to see like what problems is he solving, right? Because my guys have probably got the same problems, right? So this is basically what I would do if I don't know this niche. It's a proven path for getting in control of your world, maintaining perspective. Okay, stress-free productivity. Overwhelm. Aha. So he's developing a work-life management system that transforms overwhelm. So I am going to guess that overwhelm is one of the primary problems, right? Because why would he put that right on his homepage? He doesn't have very much text here. So let's see, clarify, capture, organize. Yep, I'm going with overwhelm. Now, and focus, all these things, really like focus and direction, this just gives me great ideas for what else I can do Google searches on, right? Focus and direction, curing overwhelm. So there's another great site, but now, does that make sense how I got there? Oh, and Larry is saying, look at chapters of his book on Amazon. That's a great idea. So I can do that as well. And then I'm going to show you a really cool website. Let's see, David Allen, Getting Things Done. Perfect. Hopefully I'll be able to look inside. Yes, thank you. Let's go to the print book. There we go. Table of contents. Getting control of your life, mastering workflow, project, planning. Okay. So I know that my people want to like get in control of their projects. Cool. All right. So between this and his website and Google, I'm in good shape. So I'm going to go into overwhelm. And I am going to say that their primary complaint is being overwhelmed. Or I could say living stressed out, being stressed because you're overwhelmed, or but this pretty much oh, I didn't get being in there. And then secondary complaints, so I can go into his book, I can go into here. We also we saw that organization is a key thing. Oh, and there's one more thing I could do. There is the NSA. I happen to know that not that NSA, the National Speakers Association and NSA, just the real one, thank you, down here. I know that a lot of speakers speak on productivity. So I'm going to go here, right? And I'm going to say productivity. And then this is peak performance. Okay, so that gives me, I know that peak performance, and then I can go in and see, like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so she teaches on performance, improvement, productivity. Here we go. So these are more topics, right? 10 costly myths about stress. Well, if you're overwhelmed, you're going to be stressed, right? So I know that stress is going to be another problem. So in my primary complaints, what I can do is I would probably open overwhelm. I would just open an Evernote. And in here, I'm going to start making notes. So stress. What was the other thing? Lack of organization. And I'm just going to keep going through these habits. So habits, developing good habits. That would be helpful, right? So I'm not going to take the time to type all of this into Email Copy Pro, but do you see where I'm going with this? So if I want to look for secondary complaints, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go to David Allen. And then what I might even do is go to these experts' websites and see what she has going on in productivity and bad habits. And I'll just keep going down the rabbit hole. Pete says, look at the back cover too. Scott, that's a good tip. So, but do you see where I'm going with this? To get clarity on, if I'm going to talk about being overwhelmed and productivity, what are the topics? Like, how do I know what the primary complaint and secondary complaints are? So is this starting to make sense? And there's another, while I'm waiting for your replies, there's a great site called BuzzSumo. So if I want to find an expert on productivity, who's writing about it? Who's blogging about it? And what are they saying? So I can see here that like this Inc., obviously that's a big site. Busier you are, the more you need quiet time. Harvard Business Review. All right, do I really? Let's see what they're writing. Nah, don't like that one. But I can see it got 112,000 likes on Facebook. Got a lot of shares. So people are liking the Harvard Business Review. So I see that and I'm like, And Inc. So that tells me that these people are executives, right? My customer, people who want to get productive, are people who would read Inc. and Harvard Business Review. So yeah, pressure doesn't have to turn into stress. There you go. Amplify your productivity. I also know that Brendan Burchard has a big productivity. Oh, darn it. Well, I guess I can't do it with that. But you get the idea. You can, oh, wait a minute. I can log in. Hopefully it'll let me search. Let's see if he's writing about productivity. Oh, well. But do you see where I'm going with that? Evan Pagan, right. Wake Up Productive. Scott, you're right. Okay, so you guys are all seeing what I'm doing. And basically what I would do is I would just keep going down the rabbit hole. I'll look at Tony Robbins' productivity. Bingo. See what he's got going on. All right, productivity and performance. What do you got to say? All right, 10 ways to, so this is like David Allen, get more organized. Oh, ditch your to-do list. Power of chunking, 10 biggest time sucks. This might be a good, like, okay, so I know that just from this page, what do I see? I see that time and managing your time is important. So I know that going back to my list, it's time management, right? And these are all secondary complaints. I'll just make a big list, and then what I would do is I would, from the people's sites that I visit and the information that I glean, I would order them, right? So maybe stress is more important to people than being unorganized, right? And so I would put more entries about stress in here than lack of organization. So, and the other way you can tell that is, like, what are the products? Like you said, Evan Pagan, Wake Up Productive. Right, so I'll go to his site. Hopefully it's like, wow, this is so old. But anyway, I can still, okay, I've got procrastination is another problem, prioritization. This is would probably be a great site to give me a lot of ideas, right? So, and there's a lot of, what are all these? Right here. There we go. So, all right, I don't have to beat that horse, right? You guys get that. So Sal is saying primary and secondary, and Bob is asking, how would you describe distinction between the primary and secondary complaint? Okay, so that's a great question. And this is all about how well do you know your avatar? How well do you know your best customer and what their problems are? Because this is all subjective, right? What's the primary complaint? What's the secondary complaint? Could be very subjective. The way I qualify it is when I do a search on productivity in Google, just the main word, and I find some experts like I did with David Allen, I will go to, like we went to David's site. I'll do a search in here. I'll just look what comes up. I'll look at what the related searches are. And then I will look at a sales page. So you said, somebody just said somebody else was a big Tim Ferriss. Let's see what he has to say. Oops, if I could spell. Okay, that's interesting, right? He's obviously a little bit out there in this blog post. 8 tips from the master in productivity. So Salesforce likes what Tim Ferriss has to say. It's funny that Tim Ferriss isn't even ranking for his site. 11 apps that he uses every day, morning routine. I'd love to find Tim Ferriss's site. So hang on. Tim Ferriss show about home. Let me just find his main site. Okay. Let's go here for our work week. Help me out, Tim. Let's go with the blog. I'm sure he has products, right? Maybe he doesn't. Whoops. Let's see what comes up. But anyway, that's okay. We got Uber productivity, blah, blah, blah. I'm not seeing anything I really like. I would go here just to find topics. But as far as primary and secondary, I want to go to productivity training. Let's see what I can find out with that. RegainYourTime.com, time management. And while we're waiting, I'm not sure. Productivity, regain your time. Path to peak performance. All right, so peak performance is like That's a buzzword. Okay, so this is speakers. I want somebody with just to find something quick. W productivity, get things done. I'd love to find a sales page, but I'm not finding it real fast, so I'm not going to waste your time. You know what? Maybe I'll try one more thing. Productivity coach. Technically simple. Let's see if that brings up anything. Real estate coaching, products and services. No. Okay, so accountability plus, nah, I'm not finding anything. But you guys get the, so anyway, personal and primary and secondary complaints. What I would do is I would go over my list right here. Stress, lack of organization, bad habits, time management. What was that other, where is, here we go. Time management, to-do list, peak performance was the other. Like I said, then I'm going to Google these and I'm going to see which one I'm going to find people with products in this, productivity, personal development. And I'm going to see what are they selling? Is it stress related? Is it lack of organization related? And then I'm going to just pick one that I see mentioned more often. So hopefully that makes sense. So, because otherwise it's very subjective and you have to know your market. I mean, if it's executives, let's say it was CEOs, it may be stress. Stress may be their number one complaint around personal development. And, so that might be their hot button. But I would only know that from looking around to see who is selling products to CEOs in the personal development space. And then I would read their sales page. So I wish that I could find somebody. I think that Tony Robbins had stuff. So just because he's easily accessible. And then we'll move on. Because we're only on the third category. Because I know he's got products. Oh my gosh. So products related to productivity and performance. Here we go. Mastering influence. If I go there, please be a sales page. Anyway, I don't really think that's the best sales page, Tony. But anyway, you guys get the idea. And that ties in with feelings. So in this category, I use like common sense and what I find on the internet. So if it's a CEO and they are stressed, what are their feelings? I mean, just use your common sense, right? Are they going to feel afraid? Yes. Are they going to feel anxious? Yes. Frustrated? Just come up with, just run through here and just come up with words that you think are related to the primary problem and the primary and the secondary complaint. Now, ultimate fear. This is, if I'm going with stress and stress being the primary complaint, and I think that people would be upset, fearful about this. So if I go into here and I type in stress, I'm going to probably get stress management, right? let's see. Why being a CEO should come with a health warning. So let's see what they're saying. They are saying probably 2/3 of CEOs are struggling. Why? Okay, major emotions. Here we go. Bingo. Frustration, disappointment, irritation, and overwhelm. Okay, that's it. Burned out is another good phrase. Stress. Oh, look at this. Very low energy. So here's another problem. So then I take this, low energy, and that goes on my problem. So see, the more time you spend on this, the more articles you read. So you see what I'm finding here? Now I can see their emotions. Now, is that starting to come together? And how you would do this and how you would do the searches? And you can do this for your own niche as well, obviously, even if you think you know your customers. So Scotty's saying not enough time to do what they really want to do, right? Stress is the greatest cause of illness. John, you can go down that rabbit hole, right? Absolutely. So once I read this and I just keep diving deeper and deeper. So look, now I see this. There should be a health warning. If you have these emotions, what emotions? Frustration, disappointment, irritation, and overwhelm. This is like perfect copy, right? Because I know now if my CEOs are feeling these feelings, there is a good chance that here's a problem. It can lead to stress and cortisol in the body, which in turn leads to accelerated aging, heart attacks, and cancer. Hello, do I know what I can talk about now in my emails? And is that so much more powerful than just talking about being stressed out and not having enough time to do stuff in the day? I mean, yes, that's like people, we as humans, we have different levels of our problems, right? We have, and John calls this getting to your why, getting to the big why. So at first, CEOs might be stressed because, oh my God, there's like not enough time to be with my family and, friends and do the things I want to do. But then then you ask that CEO, well, why does that bother you? And the CEO would say, well, if I can't spend time with my family, they miss me and I feel guilty. And then why does that bother you? And you just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. And you say, look, maybe the CEO at the fifth why question says, look, honestly, I'm afraid I'm going to have a heart attack and just drop dead and leave my family like in the lurch. And that really scares the bejeebers out of me. So if you're writing an email and you say, look, late at night when you're sitting and it's quiet, you ever worry about having a heart attack and leaving your family alone? And if that is one of their worries, do you think they're going to think that you have the answer for them? Of course. And does your email just have that much more power if you are going that deep into how they feel? So what do you guys think about that? Steve is saying there are some niches that this doesn't work for, like high school senior portraits. Maybe not. Because, I can address that in a minute. But do you guys see where I'm going with this? Is this research helpful? I just want to make sure I'm delivering value here. And in the meantime, so we've tapped into their primary complaint, their secondary complaint. The ultimate fear is that they feel like they may die from stress, leave their family. I mean, I'm going to say that would be a biggie. Obviously, name, credentials, I can't fill that in. Rapport story, this is something that you guys have to know on your own. However, the rapport story really kind of get a handle on what would make your customer, what would make you more someone that maybe they would want to sit down at a bar with and share a drink. Like John, right? John Benson, creator of the VSL. How could he ever establish, right? How could he, having accomplished all these things, ever establish rapport with you guys, right? And he does it really easily. He talks about his blue collar background and how he struggled and how he works hard and has his work ethic. And he wasn't always like this. He stumbled on the VSL actually by accident. And so you want to go that same path. Like, you are where your customers want to be. So just back up and remember like how you got there and all that. And in your story, it should be probably no longer than what John has written here. So don't write, like, remember, this is email. So we're not going to write a book. Just going to be a short story. This is where I was. This is what happened. There was a turning point. This is where I am now. Let me pop back here. Okay. Yep, this is great. Keep going. Very cool. All right. Thank you guys, because, hey, it's kind of weird being here on my own. Anyway, so we'll go with 5 dreams. So if I'm a CEO and I'm like all totally stressed out, and what would be my dreams? What is the transformation that CEO wants? Well, here we go. They don't really care about their financial independence is not really a worry for them, right? But more free time with the family. Bingo. And I will go here and I'll see what's Tony saying, right? So he's saying just chill out, reward yourself, celebrate each of your 10 ways to get more things more done. Stop wasting my time. Let's see what just chill. Or, okay, so I would go here. This is an audio, so that's not going to help me. Oh, hang on. I just saw something. Look at this. CEO strategy session today, right? Interesting. So let's see if I went CEO and stress. Stress management for the CEO. We've already seen that. Let's see what Fortune's saying. Head on as soon as I identified. Academy and find a quiet place. I can't stand these sites that, okay. Hopefully okay, sorry about that. Take a break. Oh gosh. You know what? I'm going to ditch this site in about 1 millisecond. Co-founder of Twitter, what does he do? Meditation. 6 mile jog. So if they're looking for transformation, this isn't really transformational. Hang on. Let's go with what else are they saying? Work-life balance. We go. If I surround myself with a support network. So let's see, CEO and stress relief. Wait a minute. Benefit. Okay. I'm not going to burn out as a CEO. Oh, this is so annoying. I'm sorry. But anyway, so here we go with another problem. And the transformation from this is being more relaxed, being more in control. Right? So I'm going to say that what I saw on Tony's is being more in control. Your to-do list will wait for you. So if they have that transformation, they will be more relaxed. Okay? So again, I will confirm this by doing some Google searches, but I'm going to say that they'll be able to feel relaxed, in control. they'll be able to enjoy. So if you're more relaxed, things are more enjoyable. So if we go into Email Copy Pro, they want this, more peace. Okay? It's as simple as that. Or I'll say, and I'll confirm this, but I'll say, something like that. And, oh, you know what? I would even make this, did that like not even save? It's more free time to enjoy life. I'm going to leave it at that. More free time to enjoy life. And it reads right? What would it look for you to really arrive at your goals? Would you experience more free time to enjoy life? Yep, that's what I want. I'm a CEO and I don't have that. That's how I'll know. So these are the things that they want. All right. So dreams are, they're at a certain place. They're all stressed out. I want to get to here. And so I know, look, just chill, relax, really relax. So I know that those were, if Tony Robbins picked those words, I know that that's important, right? So that's why I could add another one. And put that in. And now look, the way that I worded this is awful. Would you experience just be able to relax? No. That is much better. Okay, so I know that the opposite of stress is relaxation. So I can get that that's one of the dreams. And then I would just keep going through the site and see, well, what else do they want? And again, I would go back to those articles and see, well, if they're, what are the other things that they would want? More energy, right? Because they're tired, because, they're too stressed out. So that is one of their dreams. I would like more free time to relax. I'd like to be able to have the energy to enjoy my life. Okay, is that all making sense? And I get that from like reading, let's see, where was that article? I would look at the problems and then I think about the opposite. So if somebody is stressed, I think about the opposite. Relaxation. Aha. Okay. So that's where they'd want to go. You don't really have, and then I look at how they're wording it. Like, how are the experts saying, like Tony's just saying, just chill. So I might say, I want time to just chill. Okay. 3 promises. So what would I promise somebody who wanted to relax? I'm going to promise them that within 2 weeks of working with me, you will experience more moments of relaxation than you have in the past, 5 years. Because I know that's what they want, right? So how is that? How is this? We're just about done. Now this section right here, the dreams and the promises, they're all tied together, right? What they want is what you're giving them. So these two are very related. So whatever their dreams are, your promises are going to get them to their dreams, right? And hopefully your product does that. So it's not hard for you. Like for public speaking, I had to make a decision. Did I want to write to people who just wanted to be better public speakers? Or did I want to write to people who wanted to sell more from the stage? because there's two different types of public speakers right there. And I chose people who just wanted to be better public speakers. So if I go into my niche, however you call it, where did I go with that? In just doing my research, I found that a lot of public speakers, they just weren't making enough money. They weren't getting enough public speaking gigs. And then some of them were like what they called road warriors. They were working so hard and spending so much time traveling that they didn't have a life. So, these are the things that I found that they wanted just from doing my research. I found that, one of the big complaints about public speakers is they lack self-confidence about getting up on the stage and presenting. And so all these problems, being recognized and respected by your peers, that's what they want. Look, we as humans, this ties into our basic needs. We want self-respect. And honestly, for any of your niches, you can start here, which is a really good place. If you Google this, let's see if I can. This is what everybody wants. I don't care if you are selling high school portraits to seniors or productivity for CEOs. It's the same stuff because this is where we live. Okay. This is how we're wired in our brain. So whether it's my niche of public speaking or CEOs, I'm going to always see how what I'm finding on the internet ties into these things. Okay. Self-esteem, self-confidence, achievement, belonging. So this is relationships. And thank you for your pop-up. Safety, obviously health, security. This is obviously the very physiological is at the very bottom of the pyramid. Obviously, we got to take care of these first. And then the reason that this is a pyramid is because we got to take care of the physical stuff first, right? Then we can worry about, okay, I got my food, I'm sick, then we can start, all right, but am I safe? Do I live in a good neighborhood, all that, right? Then I can go up and up and up until I finally start thinking about me and, my confidence, my self-esteem. But none of this is important if I don't got these taken care of. So I know that in my niche, if I address, any of those, confidence, self-esteem, achievement. So even with the high school senior portrait, how would that tie into this, right? Well, high school senior portrait, why is having a high school senior portrait even important? Why should I even do it? What problem, what solution, what problem is that high school portrait solving for that high school senior? I'm just curious because, Steve, is it that who wants the picture more, the high school senior to remember high school or the parents to remember their kids? Because those are two different reasons of why somebody might want something and why your photography is important. Like you're capturing a moment, but why? Why is that moment important? Showcasing the achievements and beauty. Okay. So both. So if the senior wants it, they want to remember those moments in their life. They want to remember what it was like to be 18 and free, right? They want to remember what it was like to be 18 with their whole life in front of them. They want to remember what it was like to be 18 and showcasing their talents, right? Right. So if somebody's really good at something, do you show them doing that in their environment? And then the parent also has something to show off. There was only one time to have and activities they were involved in. Right. So, and that's all ties into self-actualization, because who cares? And belongingness. I want to feel like I belong, right? My family believes I'm important. I love my family. So I'm creating this moment so that we can all, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we can all share this and remember. Yeah, otherwise, why does it matter? It's just a picture. It's not just a picture. It's a moment. It's a snapshot of time. It's sharing that with the family and friends. So yeah. Anyway, back to public speaking. So all this stuff right here is tying into, from your product, the transformation that you're going to give these people. And then we go into causes. Now, I really like this mistaken beliefs, because I think, not a lot of people who write emails even think in this way, right? So mistaken beliefs are beliefs that, obviously, what John has written so eloquently here. So in my thing with public speaking was like, so why aren't these public speakers able to achieve success? And I did some searching, again, research, like public speaker problems. So I would just go right out here. Public speaking tips. This is a great way. Let's see. No, you know what? I remember this article. This was really pretty good. If somebody's going to write a tip, well, it's stressing a problem, right? So if don't tell me this is one of those sites. I think it is. Sorry, I can't stand these. Oh my gosh. Let's see if this is going to be better. Thank you. Okay. So I can see that, all right, this guy's an introvert, right? But he's got a big TED Talk. So how do you go? Oh my gosh. This is horrible. All right, so now I got to think a little bit. I got to come up with a mistaken belief. And I can see from this article that this guy is talking about being an introvert. And he's talking about overcoming stage fright. Well, what does that have to do with mistaken beliefs? Well, what I can glean from that is, maybe people believe that you have to be a natural born speaker in order to be a public speaker. And you could never, if you were an introvert, become a public speaker. But I know that's wrong, because this guy faced his fears, got on stage, even though he was an introvert. So that mistaken belief of being born a natural speaker is just that, a mistaken belief. So how about if I use that? So you see, I didn't go out and find the mistaken belief. I gleaned the mistaken belief from the content that I'm finding, right? So does that make sense? I guess I should go back here. So how is that? Anybody having having issues zeroing in or honing in on their mistaken belief? And I'll wait for you to give me some feedback. And meanwhile, let's see. Steve is saying no books or Facebook groups or forums where parents discuss problems with hiring a professional photographer. Well, we can address that. So, because that's a tougher niche. So if we could find something for that, if you guys have niches that might be a little bit easier, like public speaking and all that, then that would be helpful, right? Okay, so you guys all good on mistaken beliefs? This is another one that I found, lack of confidence. So what I said was you don't feel confident enough. However, the truth is confidence is created. Okay, so that, and I just found that by research. Another one was you don't perceive yourself as good looking or successful. However, the truth is people care more about what you say than how you look. And I called it image confidence. What did I call the other one? Confidence trauma. And this really, so you guys, and I called this voice narcissism. When people, really concerned with the sound of their voice. So you see where I got to this? If you are, if you are upset and think that, oh, I hate the way my voice sounds, so I could never be a speaker, well, you've got voice narcissism. So that's just enough to evoke curiosity. That's all I want to do. But I also want to brand it to me. So if I do a Google search for voice narcissism, I'm going to come up, right? And that's what you want to do with your brand. So in your mistaken belief, whatever your, kind of trademark term is, you want it only related to you. So hopefully that's making sense. And I'm not getting any feedback, so I don't know if you guys have all left me. But anyway, that's where I went with mistaken beliefs. Let's see. Oh, this was a good one. I found that, people were saying they were burned out from being road warriors and don't like to travel. So imagine my surprise when I found out you actually never have to travel because you can choose to, there's enough speaking gigs locally, or you can do virtual. And I call this the travel paradox. So Sal's saying, loving it. Good. Thank you, Sal. Because honestly, when John's doing these webinars, I'm backing him up. And flying solo here is a lot tougher because Anyway, all good. Thank you. Thank you, Ron. All right. So let's see. So then there's an enemy, right? And so in copy, in sales, in marketing, it's great to have an enemy. It's great to have an us versus them. In fact, I'm going to show you a great, let's see, lay their fears. There's a great little, it's the One Sentence Persuasion course by Blair Warren. This is so good. And let's see. Where is it? Right here. I would print this out and put it by my computer. It's that important. And you'll see how, and I'll point out how Email Copy Pro fits into this, okay? Because were we talking about dreams in Email Copy Pro? We justify their failure. Okay, people will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies, right? And if you think back, you could go to any cult leader from Jesus as a religious cult to Hitler to, which is obviously not a good, but he used these same principles. If you want to get people on your side, you let somebody know that you understand them, you get them. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you guys can hear me. My computer crashed. Go figure. Hey Pete, thanks for hanging in there with me. I was talking and all of a sudden, I get the little spinny wheel of Apple Death. And it was awesome. Imagine being in the middle of a presentation and you get that. All right, so anyway, where I was at was we were talking about Blair Warren, and maybe I shouldn't even, and one sentence persuasion. And this is important enough, I'm going to go back because this really is the base of everything about persuasion and marketing right here. Whenever you're writing anything in Email Copy Pro, does it do one of these things? Does it encourage their dreams, justify their failure, which is what John always says? What is he saying is VSLs? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I know, and just think of your customers, people who say they can't lose weight, or whatever the problem is, it's not their fault. Even though it is their fault, you have to make it seem like it's not all their fault. Why? Because there's an enemy. Hey, in weight loss, hey, it's not your fault. It's the government and the food pyramid. They've been filling your head with the fact that, hey, you got to eat all these grains, and that's nonsense. It's garbage and it's making you fat. So it's not your fault. You're confirming their suspicion at the same time. The person who's overweight is like, yeah, that's what I thought. How do you feel when somebody, like, if you have a certain thought or belief about something and somebody comes up to you and shows you like the food pyramid and you're like, yes, I thought it was something like that. What happens between you and that person? Huge amount of trust and rapport, right? So right here, this is so important that I am actually going to copy this out, put it in the chat. I suggest that you there is a black screen. That's just awesome, isn't it? Let me see if I can share something. Anyway, what I just typed in the chat box is so important that I encourage you to print that out, because everything that you put into Email Copy Pro has to fit into one of these buckets. Are you encouraging their dreams, justifying their failures, allaying their fears, confirming their suspicions, and helping them throw rocks at their enemies? If you can say, typing into Email Copy Pro will be sorry about that. I'm trying. Let's try it like this. Anyway, I apologize. This Webinar Jam is not cooperating with me tonight. So if I go into Email Copy Pro, you're not going to be able to see this. Well, while I'm trying to rectify this, how about, Diane says, love the simplicity of that statement. Very hero's journey. In a way, the hero's journey is actually, we love the hero's journey as not just as, we just love it as humans because we love rooting for the underdog. We love it when the hero prevails, right? Let's see, Pete, it's not your fault. Webinar Jam is our common enemy. Oh my gosh, I don't know why this is not cooperating with me. If I do I apologize. You just see this black thing. And if I do that, press that button. try this one more time. And if it doesn't work, then you know what? I will just take questions and not go into Email Copy Pro because I'm not just Webinar Jam. You have now decided for me that I will just take questions. So how about if you guys want to throw questions to me about maybe the causes, maybe the enemy, cause triggers, consequences, anywhere you're stuck in Email Copy Pro. Sal, I should have used Zoom. You know, you're right. But we should get a webinar Zoom room. Yeah, because this is ridiculous. I think we had a Webinar Jam problem last time. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking to getting a Zoom account for us because this is ridiculous. So anybody get any pressing Email Copy Pro issues? I would love to continue with this, but if I can't share my screen, it's just ridiculous because it won't really be that helpful. So I'm happy to answer any questions or continue, maybe pick this up another time and use Zoom. Okay, no issues, but help to watch you do the research. Yeah, you know what? I was a journalist, so research to me is fun, and I love going down the rabbit hole. So if I'm looking for problems, so honestly, what I do is I go deep. So when I'm in, like, I'm looking at the primary complaint and the secondary complaint, I'm going to do a lot of research on stress because that was a big problem. I'm going to look at, how stress impacts people's lives. I'm going to look at how stress is cured. I'm going to just look at everything I can find out about stress. And then I know that if I'm going to put that in here, I know what people's feelings are about it. I know how they're feeling about stress and the fact that it's taking over their lives and it could kill them, right? So that's all right. So Sal is saying he struggles with solutions. So let me go into solutions, even though you can't see my screen. I'm sorry. So like the primary solution, and basically think back to the primary complaint because John spells it out here. When you go into Email Copy Pro, you can see that the primary solution is your hook. It's your top solution for your prospect's primary complaint. So let's say that, let's see, Sal, I know that you have a solution for accountants and it's using social media. So what is your avatar's primary complaint? What is this account? Is it getting more business? Is the accountant like, do they struggle getting referrals? Do they struggle with the feast or famine thing? Like if they're an accountant, is it that they either have a lot of business and a lot of work or they have like much less work? And so they have to do a lot of marketing and advertising and then they go back to having a lot of customers, but no marketing. So, if I knew that, then I can help you with the solution. Because the solution is, like, you can see what I came up with was speaker success attitude. Like, because I found out that these speakers, a lot of their problems revolved around their attitude, like lack of confidence and their thoughts about success, like what it meant to be a successful speaker. So if I knew what yours was, I could help. So your accountants don't believe in social media. Does social media really help an accountant? I guess it does. So let's see, social media, they don't believe in social media. How does social media help an accountant? If you can tell me that, I can help you with the solution. But in the meantime, while I'm referrals, okay. So they would use social media to get referrals. So if you are providing them something that gives them the ability to create referrals more easily, Then you could say and what do they want? They want referrals to be endless, right? They don't have to work at it. So you could call it the easy, endless referral system or something, because you're addressing how they feel about referrals. Referrals are hard. I don't get a lot of referrals. It's tough. I feel icky when I ask people for a referral. So if you can put the benefits in your primary solution, endless, easy, endless referrals. Okay. Now you've taken all the negatives that they have in their heads about referrals, that they're hard and you got to keep working at it, to easy, endless. You use my system and referrals will be coming out the wazoo. Does that make sense? And do you guys see like how I came up with that? Because the solution is so tied to the primary complaint that you just work off the opposite of it. What is the opposite of that complaint? So hopefully that sounded good. But yeah, I think next time maybe we can pick up, and I will look into getting a Zoom room so that we don't have these technology issues. And Austin, geez, thank you for reminding me. If I could share my screen and you could get into Email Copy Pro, we have some updates. So before you guys leave, I just want to let you know there's some updates in Email Copy Pro for local business. So Sal, Steve, anybody who's a local business, more brick and mortar business or service business, and the emails that we had in there just didn't quite fit. Now we have a lot of emails, and the way where you'll find them is when you go into Email Copy Pro and you go to refine your search. You could just type in the word local, and you'll see all the emails come up. We get a whole bunch of follow-up sequences there for local businesses. So hang on, I'm just going to get a sip. And Austin said that they're awesome, and they are. They're great for follow-up. So if you're doing prospecting, these new emails are terrific for follow-up after prospecting. So listen, I am really sorry that we had all these technical issues with my computer crashing and Webinar Jam not allowing me to share my screen. But I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. And I hope I, brought something to the table today and gave you a little bit more insight about how I do research or did research. And what I can do is also just make a separate recording on my own and upload that for you guys either put it right into Email Copy Pro or get it up somewhere for you guys to watch. And I could just walk through the research without being in here. And and then invite you guys to see it. And then maybe we could do a follow-up webinar where I could answer your questions about it. Anyway, thanks again, everyone, for tuning in and putting up with all this stuff. Again, I hope it was helpful. And John's doing his training tomorrow night. An email will be going out tonight about that. So look for that. So John, the regular training that live with John, where you can come, bring your questions. So get in there, get into Email Copy Pro, look at the new sequences. There's also some new stuff. If you click on the What's New tab in Email Copy Pro, you'll see what's new. And we got more coming. This month is going to be a busy month in Email Copy Pro. So get in there, see what's Sal, if you can't see the local business, when you click inside, just put the word local in the refine your search box and all the local business emails will come up. They're there. And anyway, so email will go out tonight with John's link for John's training tomorrow. Look for an Email Copy Pro update email. And again, thanks for hanging in with me, and see you next time. See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.